One day after signing an executive order to begin dismantling the Department of Education, President Trump provided more insight on his plan to reallocate the department's responsibilities.
I've decided that the SBA, the Small Business Administration, headed by Kelly Loeffler, a terrific person, will handle all of the student loan portfolio. We have a portfolio that's very large, lots of loans, tens of thousands of loans, pretty complicated deal. Also, Bobby Kennedy, the Health and Human Services, will be handling special needs and all of the nutrition programs and everything else. Rather complex.
The Department of Education manages roughly $1.5 trillion of student loan debt for more than 40 million Americans. It also issues Pell Grants to help lower-income students pay for college and administers the free application for federal student aid. A higher education expert with the progressive think tank The Century Foundation told our CBS News MoneyWatch team that running these programs requires technical expertise that only education department officials have. CBS News MoneyWatch reporter Megan Cerullo joins us here in Studio 57. So, Megan, the Small Business Administration just Friday said it's going to be cutting more than 40% of its staff as part of efforts to shrink the size of the federal government and bureaucracy. So can the SBA and Health and Human Services pick up these tasks and roles?
Experts don't think so. Workers at the Department of Education were already let go. So even remaining workers there aren't necessarily equipped to oversee these student loan programs, which require technical expertise and deep institutional knowledge that at the moment doesn't exist. And so this is not within the purview of the SBA. And one expert I spoke to called it a deeply unserious move to try to transfer these responsibilities to another agency that has no experience overseeing student loan programs.
Deeply unserious. Another expert you spoke to said, quote, "We are barreling toward another student loan default crisis." Why is that?
Already, folks with questions about their student loans, including how much they owe and when those payment due dates are, can't get knowledgeable people on the phone to have those questions answered, which raises the risk of them defaulting. And that can be financially ruinous. It can, the amount you owe can become due immediately, which is called an acceleration. If you default, that will ding your credit score, and that can follow you around for a long time. Your wages could be garnished, and you could stop receiving tax refunds and benefits.
So when I was thinking about all these cuts, I was thinking, man, it's already hard to get somebody on the phone. Now imagine, that's already happening, that people aren't able to get anybody to just pick up.
And the SBA has a lot to do as well. So it's not going to be easy for them to just assume this whole new responsibility.
What is the Secretary of Education saying in response to all this?
She has said that cutting the department is not the same as cutting students off from the funding that they depend on, and that the transition will be carried out lawfully.
We need to remind people eliminating the department would require an act of Congress. That would require getting past the 60-vote filibuster in the Senate. Do we know how long this transition could take, though?
One policy expert I talked to, a higher education expert, said that it's both bad policy and bad implementation of a policy, because Trump has said he wants this to happen immediately. It's likely to be challenged in the courts. It's not even clear if it requires an act of Congress. It's not even clear if it'll get the votes that are required. But in the meantime, a tremendous amount of damage can be done.
All right, Megan Cerullo, thank you for staying on top of this.
Thanks, Lindsay.